Hello, everyone. Well, as usual, there's nothing that you cannot see in Nigeria. We have a so-called presidential spokesperson. Of course, an illegitimate presidency, legitimate government. You expect all sorts of things to happen, all sorts of crazy things, to happen. So you have a so-called presidential spokesperson is defending a private oil company. Remember, there was a statement that Oando had come out to make, and they said that they didn't have any part in the fictitious company that is in Malta, that they were saying that they had acquired or they had something to do with it. They did put out a statement. They put out a long statement to denounce that and say no, they didn't know anything about that, and it was all fake. It was all fake news and all of that. Let me read a bit of that particular statement that was given out July 26, 2024. It says, Oando PLC's statement on allegations of owning interest in Maltese oil storage and blending facility, Ras Hansir. So note that Hansir, Hansir, Oil Terminal Limited. So he said, our attention has been drawn to recent allegations on social and digital media leveled against Oando PLC, Oando or the company, of being a shareholder and its principals of being board members in a Maltese company, Ras Hansir Oil Terminal Limited, that operates an oil storage and blending facility and is purportedly responsible for importing adulterated petroleum products into Nigeria. Considering the above, he said, we wish to refute such claims and attest that neither Oando PLC nor its executives have ever held shares, investment, or interest in the fictitious Maltese company. As part of a comprehensive investigation into the basis of the false claims, we conducted a search of the Malta Business Registry, the official repository for all registered entities, past and current, within the country. Our search yielded no results for a company bearing that name. Subsequent due diligence efforts similarly failed to uncover any record of the company's existence. We therefore believe that the false claims are of the malicious intent of misleading the public and our stakeholders. The statement continued, and it said, we want to reiterate that as a publicly listed company, any corporate actions such as acquisitions are declared publicly in accordance with applicable corporate governance laws and rules. Furthermore, it is imperative that information released about a publicly quoted company such as Oando is thoroughly researched and deemed accurate before it is published in the public domain. The company's securities are traded daily across two exchanges, NGS and JSE, to prevent misinformation and confusion among investors as well as our other stakeholders. We implore all members of the press to take adequate steps to ensure the veracity of reports by fielding all inquiries with Oando PLC's Corporate Communications Department. So, and then it was signed. But guess what we have here? So we now have, of course, who will it be? Bayo and Onanuga coming out to say, Oando bust rumors about Ras Hansir. He now said, those were using Hansir with an S. This one, he said Hansir with a Z. Hansir Oil Terminal Limited. Oando, Nigeria's leading indigenous oil firm, has debunked rumors that its directors are the owners of an oil blending plant in Malta. Oando debunked the viral rumor in a statement sent to the Nigerian Exchange on Friday. Fact checkers have also shown that Ras Hansir Oil Terminal is fictional, Oando. So you could see even he, Bayo Onanuga, used the Hansir with the Z and not the Hansel. In the statement, they were using Hansel. They didn't use Hansel. Of course, when you change the Z and turn it to S, it's not a different entity. You're not going to come up and see an organization that has that name, because that's a different legal entity. It's a different thing entirely. It's different from the other one. And so, there's this thing where they say, is it community note takers? There's something that is going on in Nigeria, whether they are trying to shut down internet access and all of that. So these things, they are not coming up for you to even get. I'm using my phone. I'm reading directly from Twitter. I'm actually on the page of Abayo Onanuga and the community note that was referred onto it, but it's really quite slow. So he says, so the community knows something, sort of like that debunks what you're saying. I think there's a way people put it together. I don't really know how it works, but I don't know, when you say something, they will come out and sort of like fact checking. It says Oando is referring to Ras Hansel with an S, not the one with Z, a fictitious company. The company in question is Ras Hansel with a Z. Oando are referring to theirs with an S. He said this one with a Z. Ras Hansel exists. So like this fact check, I say it is a company that was implicated in an investigative report on smuggled Libyan oil and its relationship with Malta. And then there's a link to a story if you want to read, that story. And a lot of people were asking, Bayo, do you now speak for a private company also? You're supposed to be the so-called presidential spokesperson, or whatever that title is. He is in this illegal government that he's part of. And then somebody says, and you, what's your business with Oando Oil? Or are you now their aid, or what? What shall it benefit you from spending the rest of your life to defend illegality? Somebody was asking, a lot of questions were just going on all over in that place. But it just comes to tell you how low Nigeria has fallen, and how there's so much abuse of power, there's so much corruption. All these things are all part of corruption. How are you sitting down? You're supposed to be the spokesperson of what do you call it, of a president, but this one, of course, is an illegitimate president, and you're there defending a company. You'll do all sorts of things. It's just crazy. It's just something. It just beats the mind, honestly, and we really can't afford to just let these things be and just let them continue to destroy our country. If we don't do anything, like I always say, 40 years from now, 50 years from now, for those who are going to be alive in the next 50 years, you're still going to have the same thing. And then you're sitting down thinking about, and then your grandchildren or your whatever, they'll be blaming you and say that, oh, you never did anything. So at the end of the day, we really need to come together and ensure that all of this whole nonsense that is happening within the political space, within the governance space, we put a stop to it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.